Okay, so this is just one final video. What we've got here is Paper3. So this is the one where you'll do a website and also a little bit of Excel. Just scrolling down. So what I'm going to do is just go through the spreadsheet one. The Excel, I've put a video that someone else has done. I think it's better sometimes just to hear a different voice, basically, I guess. So here we've got this one. Now this is unusual because it actually asks you to download the files, and now that's 2013, so I think that has now changed, which is why I don't want to go back too far to say 2012, because the exams are probably quite a bit different. So obviously this is uploaded onto the school site. Now this one is Dreamweaver. You don't actually have to use Dreamweaver. You can use any program that you would like, but because we've got it installed, I'll use Dreamweaver. Now if you haven't got, okay, so what you can do is get the trial version. Okay, now that lasts 7 days, but you have got it. Even if it's been installed, I remember I did put it onto your laptop, so you should all have it. Obviously it's in the IT room as well. I can even put it in the library, Max. But even if you're really stuck, you have the trial version. Okay, which if you click on that link, and you'll get the latest version of Dreamweaver. Now normally, and when you open it up, it actually is very, very, very similar to the one that you've been using, the same version that you have been using. So it's not like it will be a completely new program. Now this is the so I'm just waiting for that to open. This is the 2013 exam. So again, you'll always have this. You'll have this .css file, and you'll have pictures, and you'll have the actual web page that's probably been started, and you're just going to add bits onto it. So there we go. This one is a bit unusual. So what it says is a trainee's created style sheet. So a style sheet is this. This is style sheet. Okay, SS style sheet. So you've basically got to fix this style sheet. Okay, and what a style sheet does is it, you might have a plain website. If you attach a style sheet to it, then it means that if you highlight some words and say it's going to be a heading like H1, then it will be red, font 66. It will be Arial. Okay, it will be center aligned. So if you've got 100 different web pages, all with H1, the heading 1, then they'll all have that same style to them. It's one of those things that's probably easier to actually do than explain it. So what you would do, if you're using this version or the older version, you just click HTML document. Okay. Now what it says, so at the moment, the first step is to actually do the style sheet. So what I'm going to do is just come back. So this is what you'll get when you first open Dreamweaver. So that's a basic, that's the HTML, and this is what the HTML looks like. So it's on split. You can do code view, where you just see the HTML code, or you can do split view. So to see what happens if I just type test words in there, okay, see, they come in there. So that's what the code view is. Okay. What I might do actually, so that's the style sheet. We'll probably, see, we do that, save this style sheet, and then use the file name, candidate number. Okay, so you'll then you do the style sheet first, and then you're going to open up the actual web page. I'm going to do this slightly different. I'm just going to open up the web page first, just to see what it looks like. So file, open. And then what you do is you'll attach the style sheet to it. I just want to see what we get. And I have attached, so when we're doing, that's this one here. So these are all the files you need. I have, on all of them, you've got the mark scheme. So if you click on the mark scheme, you'll actually see what you should end up with. I haven't looked at the mark scheme. I'm just doing this again. I'm just doing this for the first time. Let's see what's happening. Now this laptop is getting slow, so it's okay. So I'm doing Paper3 2013, and I think we open. I think it's this one we open. Prop. Okay, yeah, it's property. So this I think is to do with property. So if I click open, okay. So I'm going to close that one down, which was the one. I won't say that. Okay, good. So now we can see what we've got. So this is what we'd be working with. And as you can see, there's no actual style to it. It's all the same colour. Words are the same colour. It's not really formatted. So what we'd do, we're going to attach a style sheet. Just click on Window. Okay. When it opens up, you will see like on the right hand side, you'll see things like this, these little menus. But to open the style sheet, you can do it from here on the right, or you can just do Tools, CSS, and this is the same attached style sheet. It's the same as the version that's in the IT lab, or the one that I'll put in the library. So now you're attaching a style sheet. So it's that sit.css. Okay. Link or import. I don't think that'll make too much difference to this day. I'll click import, because then that will probably actually put it onto your page. There you go. So what it's done is it has linked, and you might have noticed that the words, some of the words did actually change a little bit. The font style changed. So what you've got is this. This is your style sheet here. Okay, and what you put here will affect the words, okay, here. Now, I'll just scroll down a bit. Okay, yes, so some of the words have actually changed colour, which means some of the style sheet, here go purple. So that's why that's changed purple, because some of the style sheet works, some doesn't, so that's what we've got to do. Okay, right. So what it's saying is for your heading, it should be 20 points and center aligned. So what you would do then, heading, align, text, center. Actually, I think that one looks okay. Okay, let's have a look. Now what I'm going to do is go with, actually go back to Dreamweaver. And I'll just move that out of the way. Now, this is something I hadn't just noted. I was wondering why this is aligned. It says text aligned center. So if you see here H1, so this has got the style of H1, but it isn't aligned center. It looked right to me, but looking again, it's actually got, you need to have the American spelling there. Oh, lovely. So it's worked. Okay. Font size massive. So what it means, so I'm looking at the question paper. The font size should be 20. And you might have just seen, hang on, if I do this, so font size, so rather than have that, if you put 20, okay, now you're starting to format it. I won't actually necessarily go through them all, because once I've done the first one, the rest should be fairly clear. Hang on, so if I come back to here, it's this bit. This is the bit that might catch you out a little bit. So the color 66, 0 and 0, and it says hexadecimal. So these colors should be hexadecimal. Now when you're doing that, what that means is you're going to have the hash sign. If I do 66, 0, 0, 0, 0, and that should, yep, reddish. It is now a reddish color. What that means is if you go to here, you're using, out of 256, so this range, why is that 0? That means you've got no green in there, no blue, but almost, think of it as almost like 66% blue, red, sorry. So that's why it's turned like a reddish color. So it's not a full red. And so that's basically what you're doing. And so, for example, LI, a list, it's 0, 0, 0. So So if I go to this one and do that, so you always need the hash first, 000000. But what that would mean, it probably hasn't made any difference. It means if you've got a list, then that list will be black color. Okay, so it shows you there it's black. Okay, it shows you the color of that one. And that pretty much is the website task. I mean, that's the main sort of bulk of it. Then what you're doing, so I'm not going to go through it step by step, because once you've done that first one, the rest is pretty much the same. Okay, so you've set the board, things like setting the border to 2 and the cell padding to 10. You've got, so if I open this up, I'll go back to the source code. So I'm guessing you've got, okay, so you've got a table. So the whole sort of, now if I clicked on table, it actually shows you where the table is. In fact, on this one you can do format table. It would really help you though if you can get used to actually changing the HTML code, because that is what they're trying to test you with. Now I'm just going back to this. Where was the, okay, replace, right, so you've already done that, you've attached the style sheet to it. So I'm just going to go through something like this. So set the table border to 2 and cell padding to 10. Now if I click on, okay, there is this little this window down the bottom. If you don't see it, just go to Window and Properties, and this is where you can click on the table, and there you go, cell pad. So cell pad should be 10, border 2. Okay, and then you should start to see, this is kind of like a floating table, so you should start to see then a change. There you go, so there's a bit more padding between each of these cells. And that, okay, and then all you're doing is just dragging images in. Okay, so the images that you've got here that are saved, okay, so you're just looking at them and seeing what is the most appropriate one for, what was it? Okay, image of a small farm, for example, like that. Okay, resize images so they're 150 pixels wide. So if I go back to Dreamweaver, oh, I see, right, image of, so you've got image of garage. An image of a garage somewhere around here. Now this is where you're a little bit of HTML, and again, it's what I said, if it's not stuff you don't know, then you take a screenshot and you can laminate it and put it on the desk. So you would, maybe you could try and drag it onto there or something. The best way of doing this again is to try the HTML code. So what you've got, image of garage, and if I click on that, TD, yeah, that little box here is like your one, okay, look, so this is a row of cells. So image of garage is this one here. Okay, so it's this little bit. So what you're going to do is just about there, if you type in MIG for image, actually no, sorry, first thing you should always do is that kind of square bracket, or the angular bracket, whatever. MIG for image, okay, and look, it even says IMG. Now if I hit space and then do SRC, that means source, where is the image? So if you click, and you should do browse, I'm just going to choose a random one. Click that, click open, so it might not be the right one, and I'm going to do the closing bracket. That's it. Okay, that is how you do your image. If I put width 180, okay, something like that. Okay, just see what happens. Click on the image. Sorry, click on the image. Don't click the lock. Okay, and just type in something like 180. Okay, so it's resized it, because I think from what I saw earlier, it said it might ask you at some point to resize. I'm going to pause it just for a second, and as we get into 15 minutes, and just wrap up with the next one.